Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! Yes. In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
we were so close to a second week without a single injury. So close. Oh, and this is episode 450. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in the virtual room filled with some lions. I've got Ollie. I've got Chris. It's the Friday show on a Thursday. That everybody loves it when it's on a Thursday. And, of course, a question that no one cares about anymore, but I ask it every week. What are you guys most looking forward to stop a quiet weekend?
I actually have something.
Whoa.
Oh,
back to back.
I know. It's unprecedented, isn't it? I'm going to see Wicked at the theatre this weekend.
Nice.
You know, going to the theatre. It's always a good time going to the theatre. If you've never done it, I'd recommend it. It's good fun.
Now, I love that musical. I want to just say that first of all.
here we go.
No. I'm going to plug something in a minute. But are you going to the actual theatre or the movie theatre?
No, I'm going to the actual theatre.
That's incredible. You will love the dragon. I'm so proud that in my previous career before COVID, I got to work on that dragon as part of my. It was so cool. I still loved it. It's so beautiful. It's all wood. It's great. It's incredible, and you will enjoy it. You really will. Chris, what have you got?
Well, I'm going to mix the segment up a little bit, and I'm going to give you what I'm least looking forward to this weekend.
All right, go on.
Sure. Yeah.
So my girls have a game on Saturday morning, and I don't know whether any of you are keeping up with the weather where we are.
What, the snow?
On Saturday morning. But
it's a little wet.
I'm going to be stood on the side of a 3G for about an hour and a half in gale force winds and torrential rain.
Nice.
Yay!
A lovely British summer day.
Honestly,
you don't
sound
you don't sound happy about that, Chris.
No, he doesn't.
No, I am not. Do you know why as well? Because it's 45 minutes away. The game is.
Oh, that's
so I've
brutal.
got to get
so it's a 3-hour round trip then.
Yep. And then I've got to sit in the car for 45 minutes driving home, soaking wet.
That's long. All right, I'm with you on that one.
The
the things you do for the people you love, huh?
I know, right?
I will go. I have got stuff to look forward to. I'll do a mini update for everybody. We have got 3 lions here, but we've also joined by a mini lion because my cat Tom is back. The one, who unplugged the monitor cable on Monday.
Unplugged Mikey.
However, I have tightened the screws on it so we can't unplug it. It unplugs because I didn't tighten it on my.
The cat has upgraded Mikey.
That's it's true. I have got a busy weekend. I'm baking up some stollen on Saturday. I've got a Christmas light switch on for my local town on the same day. Sunday, I'm so excited. I'm heading up to Birmingham for the BBC Good Food Show Winter Edition. I've never been. Every time I try to, the fucking trains strike and I can't get there. And I do not want to pay for parking. That's why I don't drive up there. So finally get to go. That's going to be incredible. Football-wise, people want to know the football. Bilbao Sociedad. We've got the Basque Derby, of course. You've got Milan, nice. Juventus, Napoli, Roma, Chelsea United in the WSL.
Big games going on.
Yeah,
huge.
Big weekend.
I think if people are thinking, I don't want Chelsea-related stuff, then I'd just bin off everything and just watch the MLS playoffs. We're at the quarterfinal stage, all are one-off games now, so if you lose, you fuck off home.
I'll be honest, if you don't want Chelsea stuff, you really shouldn't be listening to this show.
Well, some people might just be they might just want to extend that international break. Just have a bit more non-Chelsea. Just a little. Yeah. You should be excited. I think you've got LAFC, haven't you? Minnesota
nice.
Have. And we got Galaxy. So we've got LAFC. You've got Galaxy. We're both going out. Let's just be realistic. They're the best 2 teams in this competition now. So yeah. Right. Anyway, we've got news to hit. Oh my word. Oh dear. You know what's coming, listener. But hey, let's get in the elevator of Chelsea news and have a good cry. So let's find out what you missed. Chelsea are not interested in Caoimhin Kelleher, despite reports. Chelsea have strong confidence in Robert Sanchez still, and depth for the future in both Philip Jorgensen and Mike Penders. Frank Lampard is now in advanced talks for the Coventry City job. Hilario handed in his resignation to Chelsea to take up a role with England and Thomas Tuchel. Premier League clubs are fearing that semi-automated offside technology may not be introduced into the top flight this season. Reece James has picked up a small hamstring injury and he will miss the game against Leicester. And finally, I'm throwing in a little bit of good old Danish news here. A little good bit. Denmark's press conference lasted 20 seconds after a goalless draw versus Serbia. No one asked any questions. Who doesn't love it when a pointless meeting is cancelled at the last minute? No questions. He just smiles. Manager's like, yay, bye. Oh, it was great. It's absolutely gold. I want to talk about the keeper situation, but then, of course, injuries happened today. So there you go. There you go, team. Reece James, go on. Have your chat.
Well. Here we are again.
Oh.
My God, it's hard, isn't it? More than anything, it's hard for us. It's hard for the fans, and it's hard for Reece. You know, what more can we as a club do, as a fan base do? He as a player, what more can he do, really, to stop these injury concerns? I just, it hurts, and I feel for him, and I hope this is more of a precautionary thing, and Maresca's just being really cautious with him. Evidently, it sounds like that caution is necessary. So, yeah, I mean, not really much more to say, is there?
Chris,
How does he get injured when we're not playing?
Training.
He's not played in like 2 weeks.
Like, it's so bizarre because everyone was getting excited because he completed like 3 games in a row without getting injured. And then we have an international break and everyone's like, oh, well, at least Reece James will be safe. There's no games. Be fine. And he's like, nah, I don't think so. I've still got to kick a ball somewhere. And I can get injured at any point. Do you know what? It's one of them. They say slight, but I think they said that last time.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he was out for months, wasn't he?
Yeah. So, I mean,
I guess we'll see.
With Reece James, we might not see him now till 2025.
I know.
It's one of them though, isn't it? Where it's like, if this turns into another 4, 5, 6 week job, where do we go from here?
And for him, I mean, you got to look at the human side. I mean, I put it in the Discord. It's an overreaction, maybe. I wouldn't be shocked if he retired at the end of the season. I know someone's going, you're off your head, but he keeps getting injuries, and at some point, forget the football. You're just going to think, I kind of would like in the future to be able to, play with my kids in the future and run around and just enjoy life.
I reckon
it's sad.
He's one of those players who, unfortunately, I think will end up in a really low intensity league by the time he's like 26.
It would be such a shame.
Like moving to
as well.
Yeah, moving to Saudi or somewhere where the standard is so much lower than his ability that he wouldn't have to be at 100%.
I just don't know what he does in terms of training. Does someone just go to his legs with a baseball bat every time?
I think he'll be. I see now a consistency. He'll be, and it's such a shame. He'll be Jack Wilshere,
it's always going to be this way, isn't it? Because we've done everything really
Honestly,
the club that we can do. He's doing the yoga. He had the surgery. We're playing him 1 game a week. Like, what more can we do at this point?
I mean, go on, Chris.
What you was just saying, Mikey, about retiring at such a young age and everyone thinking that's a ridiculous statement to make. Everyone would have said that about Jack Wilshere
100%
at the time.
Yeah.
When he was getting man of the match at the new camp, he was meant to be England's next big star.
Yeah.
And then he got a couple of injuries and everyone was like, it's all right, he'll come back. He's only young. His body will recover. And he just never did. And, I keep seeing people say that about Reece James, that, well, he's young, so he'll recover. It's not always the case. So
and he's not
just because you're young,
is he? He was young. And he's been injured since he was young, his body's not going to get better at regenerating itself the older he gets.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, Jack Wilshere and potentially now Reece James are two players that would have been generational players for England. Like we'd be talking as the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I've got to be honest, he was that good. Obviously, injuries took it from him, and it sucks. There's so many players that had injuries that robbed them of their careers. I mean, I'm trying to think of the one. Was it Pierluigi? I can't. Casarighi? Chris, you've got to help me out with that name. I'm sure he.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, Pierluigi Casar. I can never pronounce his surname. I'm sure he was a Chelsea player and he retired at us. He just couldn't get fit after Lazio. Someone, listener, you know who I'm on about. Casarighi. Maybe that's how I got it. You know who I'm on about. Let me know in the Discord.
Ultimately, just sucks for everyone involved. Hopefully, it's a short-term thing, but we can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
no, we can't.
It was horrible. It was horrible. So. We had some movement on the goalkeeper front this week. By movement, I mean PR, because Chelsea were interested. And I've got this
most movement we've seen in a while.
I got this.
I
got this from the Irish Times. So if it's wrong, I apologise. Caoimhin Kelleher. We were interested in signing him from Liverpool, but apparently we're not. We're not. No discussions of any keeper at this stage. They have full faith in Sanchez. And
oh my God.
Well, I know, Chris. We all felt it.
But hang on, don't despair though, because I saw a headline today that said that Petrovic is doing so well at Strasbourg, they might bring him back.
Whoa, well, I bring it up because it will generate some clicks. Everything does with keepers, but I'm starting to just think this is all politics. I must say, I think this might be a little bit of football politics. I have convinced myself this week that the club do not value Sanchez at all, but they're just sort of persisting with him because there's so much tied to him. And you've got obviously Ben Roberts as well. And I guess if you've been off one, you got to bin off the other as well. But
I'll get rid of them both then.
Yeah. But on to
interesting to see Hilario go this week as well, like because that's
that is also interesting.
You know, like he also was I believe a goalkeeping coach, but as well, like Maresca actually has his own goalkeeping coach as well in his staff. So I don't know.
I mean, on to Kelleher. I mean, in the summer, I did straight up call him overrated. Chris and I did an episode, and I said he was one of the most overrated keepers in the Premier League. I stand by that kind of. I've got to give credit where it's due, because this season he stepped up big time when Alisson was out, and he didn't just like sort of hold the fort. He looked like a proper keeper. He looked like a proper number one. I've got to give him that. Fair play. And I sort of look at it this way: if people at Chelsea, what we're told, if people at Chelsea, can believe in Robert Sanchez, who, in my opinion, inspires less confidence than any time I try to pronounce a player name, then I think I'm allowed now to believe Kelleher might actually be a decent option. Because to me, believing in Sanchez is more ludicrous than believing in Santa Claus. And at least Santa delivers once a year.
Do you know what? The funny thing is I actually agree with you when you say that Kelleher is a bit overrated. And actually, you might have been slightly ahead of your time with thinking that, because I actually think, in a way, he's got more overrated this season, in a sense, because I think he's always kind of been about the level he's been now. But people are just seeing him more, so they think he's better than maybe he is. I don't know.
He turns 26 on Saturday, so is he too old for him?
He's too old for our club, yeah.
I would say as well, though. I think if we're gonna sign a keeper, I'd like us to sign someone who's been a number one at a big club for more than 6 games.
Would
be that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Right?
No,
Chris. So this might be our best opportunity.
Yeah, I guess we move from that. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, he is better than Sanchez.
Yeah, of course.
So I wouldn't be that upset about it.
It's not difficult.
So
my nan is over 80 years old, and she'd be better than Sanchez.
Yeah. Listener, you listening right now, talking to you. You're better than Sanchez. You might go, "Oh, I'm not, Mike." You probably are.
And you might say, "I'm not for this reason or that reason." It doesn't matter. You are better than Sanchez.
It's true. It's really true. So it's midweek, and it's time for a midweek trip to Kingsmeadow Corner, because Chelsea women welcomed Celtic to Stamford Bridge. And that penalty makes it Chelsea 3, Celtic 0. We are through to the Champions League quarter-finals. And that penalty makes it Chelsea 3. I think we need to calm.
Likes it so much.
think we need to calm down there. But yeah, we welcome the Stamford Bridge. It ended Chelsea 3, Celtic 0. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. So, thoughts on a better performance than last week against them?
It's just total domination, isn't it? I'm just looking at the stats here. 72% possession, 25 shots to 3, 7 shots on target to 2. We just crushed them in everything. And we went ahead early through Lucy Bronze, of course. Really, really nicely took her goal. She's just been going from strength to strength lately, and we just kind of never looked back, really. I think we more or less played the whole second half in second gear, to be honest.
I was shocked that Kelsey Doherty, who I praised last week for stopping everything, wasn't that great this time? Well, not really. I mean, Lucy Bronze's volley, could she have done more? I don't know. I mean, look, we needed a point, didn't we? We just needed 1 point. We
got 3.
Yeah, Sonia went for it, from the start. That was a stronger lineup than obviously the reverse fixture. And it got a more professional response. And like you said, Lucy Bronze opened the scoring. Lovely goal. Captain doubled the lead. And then we obviously sealed it with a penalty. I mean, 3-0. I can't. Oh, Chris, it's just business done.
Yeah, that's what it was, really, wasn't it? It's I think we showed them a little bit more respect this time with the lineup, and I think that's why the game was so much more comfortable this time. Clean sheet for Musovic as well, I think is big.
She's just had her 50th appearance as well at the club, so big up to her.
Yeah, and seeing an academy graduate in Lola Brown, mate, debut.
That
just
was
a really positive night, but everything around the women's team is positive because that's how good they are.
Yeah. I mean, we praise our own players. I'll say fair play to the Celtic fans. Sang throughout, and it was a cold night in London. And I would like to also point out it's a 7.5-hour drive from Glasgow to London.
That's long, isn't it? That's real commitment.
Or an hour on the plane. That it's not cheap though. Obviously, it's cheaper than the trains. It always will be. It's the UK. And obviously, of course, if we're going being drilling down proper here, their fans probably had to use 2 days annual leave, Wednesday and Thursday. So that's
one day up, one day back. Yeah, a lot of people would have stayed
on a cold day. So fair play.
Well, it's all to get pumped 3-0 as well.
Yeah, fair play though.
Celtic fans, you're a real one. All right.
Yeah, I've got to say, Maya Ramiro, she looked threatening again. Didn't score. I was a bit scared when she had that injury scare, but proved nothing. So, bloody hell, don't do that to us. Squad depth up front. I think, is Mia Official back yet?
No, her and Sam Kerr are returning to full team training. End of the month, I think they said.
That'll be much needed. I mean, just the squad depth then.
Yeah,
you've touched on Lola Brown, obviously making her debut. I mean, look, we're in the quarterfinals. There's 2 games left, 4 from 4. I'm just terrified if we win that group and then have to play Barca in the next round.
Well, if we do, we do. If you're gonna have to win the Champions League, you're probably gonna have to play them eventually.
As it
and
stands,
you know what?
Yeah, go on.
It'd be one of them things, wouldn't it, where we win the group, they end up finishing second, so we play them much earlier than you would choose to. But if we knock them out, I don't think anything stops us from winning it then.
I agree with that.
Yeah. True. I mean, as it stands, as the time of recording, Man City have won their game tonight. They are top with six clear of Barcelona. Obviously, they've still got to play Bolton tonight, so they'll probably win that by, I'm going to predict 9-0. 9-0, why not? I don't know. Probably not that 9-0, but still. Anyway, well, we're through. That's what matters. And this weekend we've got Man United, so it's going to be huge. Everyone else is playing in the League Cup, I think. So,
yeah, big game, but nothing we can't handle. I think I think we've shown as of late that we can tackle these big games and put in big performances. So we'll be ready for it.
Yeah, right. Today, we're doing something a little different. We know these episodes never do good views because everyone just wants winners and losers. So maybe this is a little winners and losers in its own sense. We're going to catch up with the Chelsea loan army, the players that we sent off across the globe to hone their skills, or in some cases, just to give that Cobb and physio a break. They need a break. Some of them are lighting up, obviously, their leagues. Others just sort of blending into the background. And a few, let's just say they're treating their loan spell like a year-long sightseeing tour. Will any of them, though, make the leap to that first team next season? Or are we going to look at future trivia question answers? Who knows? Each of us has sort of picked two players who are shining bright as a loan army star, and 2 who, let's be honest, need a bit of a jump start. or maybe a care package from Chelsea. I don't know, to remind them of what success could be like. There's 14 players out on loan. That's a decent pool. Not as It's a small pool compared to other years. I think because of those FIFA rules, it's a bit of a shame. I liked it when we had like Parma level of, was it 109 players once they had out on loan. Parma did. Ooh,
Jesus.
I know, not quite Chelsea level. Right, Chris. I think we might have similar names, but that doesn't matter. It's a good debate. Chris, who's one of your stars?
Alfie Gilchrist.
Same, yeah, same.
It's a good shout.
Why was he for you though?
To go down to the championship at his age and with his limited experience, and to become one of the first names on the team sheet for a team that's fighting for promotion is impressive. He's been playing as a right back as well.
Yeah.
And we might need one of them soon. So
That is true.
Yeah, but he's been really solid. Sheffield United fans like him. Manager obviously likes him because he keeps picking him. It's one of those loans where you think you've sent him out to get experience, and that's what he's getting because he's not being a bit part player. He's gone there and he's a first team player.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I had him because obviously he flirted with the first team last year with Poch. And then obviously we knew straight away early in the summer he was going to go out on loan for regular time. And he's pretty much stapled into that starting 11 now. He's 20 years old, obviously. He's just stepped up. And obviously Jayden Bogle, who left, I mean, he's pretty much had to fill his boots, and he has. He's started 13 of their 15 games. He's obviously come on in the other two. 10 clean sheets, and now sitting second in the championship. And he's even grabbed an assist. But I was more interested by his, I know it's the championship, so you have to be very careful with the numbers. But his stats, they're pretty solid. You know, he's averaging 1.92 tackles and 1.19 interceptions per 90. Add to that a tidy 3.3 clearances per game. He's kind of sweeping up everything. And
you know what, as well, he could be thinking about next season. He could be the perfect sort of right back / centre back hybrid in and out of possession.
Yeah.
Because he's a more defensive fullback, isn't he? Let's be fair. He's not an overly attacking right back. So if you're looking at your left backs inverting, so your right back's becoming part of a back three.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I think he's got a chance, you know.
I mean,
is he better than Tosin? Probably. Is he better than Disasi? Probably.
Yeah. He's looking like a Swiss Army knife of a defender because he's reliable. That's important. He's versatile, and he's always up for the. And Chris, you've just touched on it. That could be like an Azpilicueta like player, you know, who what's his best position in the back line? Doesn't matter. And that's all. Yeah, he always, you know, he's a master of none of no trades, but that's not the point. The point is he's so versatile, and players who are versatile play. They play.
Yep.
Because you can't play right back. Doesn't matter. You can play centre back. You can play left back.
The thing with Gilchrist that I was most impressed by, I think, is his attitude. Like he came in to the Chelsea team under Pochettino, really made a position not his own, but like he really sort of stamped his authority on the team in a way that I don't think anyone really expected. Obviously his attitude's pretty good because I think he was the captain of one of the youth sides for quite a while, and now he's taking up the challenge to go down to the championship at a young age, and he's really proving himself, and it just feels like his work ethic and his attitude are top tier, and I can't help but feel like we need a bit more of that sometimes at our club.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps up his form, will he be first team next season? We need competent defenders.
I doubt it.
No.
Honestly, I think we'll probably sell him for pure profit, but that'll be a shame.
I hope not. I got distracted then. I was listening. I got distracted because I can see out my window it's snowing. So like a child, I was like, "Oh, snow!" Ollie, nice. who's your first star?
I think it's quite an obvious one. He's been doing really, really well out in Liga, and it's Andrey Santos.
Same.
When they originally said that he was going to go back out on loan again this season, at first I was actually a little bit disappointed because I thought, we've got some space in the midfield, that he could really, come in and do a good job, especially in that kind of holding position. But you know what? I actually think at the same time, this is a really, really good opportunity for him. Of course, remember, he's only 20 as well. Same age as Gilchrist in the Championship. He's in Ligue 1 playing with the big boys, right?
Yeah.
And he's out there making the difference in a lot of games. Just looking here, Scored in the game. Let's look at this. All right, so he's got 5 goals and 1 assist in 10 games. Right, roughly
Decent,
900 minutes in Ligue 1. Right, at 20 years old. Scored in the game versus Lille to make that a draw. Scored in the game versus Lens to make that a draw. Scored in the game versus Nantes and Stade Rennais and Lyon, and only lost one of those.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was assist in the game against Lyon, which they drew. So he's proving to actually not just be a player who's come in and doing quite a good job. He's actually being a difference maker. And that's a huge thing, because if you can actually impact games at the highest level like that, he's going to slot into us just fine. I think we've got to remember what kind of talent we've got on our hands here. Only a couple of years ago, this kid was playing in Brazil. Now he's in Europe, and he's taken to it like a duck to water. Hopefully, he makes the same step up for us. But it's encouraging signs so far.
I knew someone would mention him because he's just hit that ground running again at Strasbourg, and he's those defenders in Ligue 1 are sweating because he's got 5 in 10. He's had a blistering start, and okay, Strasbourg have back-to-back defeats before the international break, so they are sitting in 11th right now. But he is the shining light. He is a beacon of hope, and he is also the highest-rated midfielder in Ligue 1 this season. He's better than any PSG player. There you go. I mean, wow. And the stats there. Go on, Chris. No, I'll let you finish.
We need goals from midfield too.
Bloody right.
He is almost a different profile to every other midfielder we've got. Which I think is only going to be a positive when he comes back into the squad in the summer. That I think next year there has got to be the year that you just give him a chance in our team.
You've got to, right? Like, I feel like he's too talented not to force his way in. He seems like such a talented boy, and like I said, doing it on one of the biggest stages for a team that, let's be honest, aren't fabulous, right? In Strasbourg, it's not like he's playing up there with with like great players around him and they're elevating him. He's one of the he's like raising the floor of that team, So he's profiling and platforming that entire team for me, and so hopefully he can do something similar for us.
And we can't keep relying on Caicedo to score worldies. So
also it's like we shouldn't expect them to. We've got this game against Leicester at the weekend, right? And Caicedo's been out with with the Ecuador team. Obviously, just played 90 minutes. What was it, yesterday? He's going to have to play 90 minutes again against Leicester on Sunday or Saturday. Early kickoff, isn't it? It's on Saturday.
Yeah.
And if we keep going like this, we're going to run him into the ground. He needs someone. He needs backup, and I don't know. Someone like Santos could do that job.
Yeah, I mean, the stats, they're impressive. He's 95th percentile for tackles made, 97th percentile for ground duels won, 91st percentile for dribble success rate. Basically, he's doing everything you want a good midfielder to do. He can win the battles, he can glide past opponents, and he dominates the midfield. I genuinely believe we could, just stating, could be seeing Caicedo's partner emerge if Lavia doesn't stay fit. He seems to be fit, so...
He's almost like a throwback centre midfielder. I think, because if you go back, like 10, 15 years, sort of your Lampard, Gerrard era, midfielders was meant to do everything. They was meant to defend and score and create. Like that was their job. But then we had that sort of evolution, didn't we? Where you had he's just a holding midfielder, so he doesn't have to do the attacking bit, or he's a number 10 now, so he doesn't have to do the defending part. He's like one of those old throwback centre mids who can do everything. He's good off the ball as well as on the ball, and those players now, there's not many of them around. So I think we have to make the most of him next season. I don't really care who's supposedly blocking his path. I think you've just got to take a chance on him becoming world class.
Yeah, because someone else will.
Simple. Yeah.
Chris, who's your second player then?
I actually found this a little bit tough, because Ollie mentioned Petrovic earlier, and I have heard that he's been doing good things, but then he has conceded 16 goals in 8 games.
I know.
So
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's not great.
I wanted to make Petrovic on there, and I hear he is making waves, but how many goals?
Yeah, 2 goals a game. It's not
Yeah,
great. Um,
tough. I suppose it depends on the defense in front of you, doesn't it?
and then I was looking at Chalobah, but again, Crystal Palace have been a bit
Yeah, they've
naff.
been awful, haven't they?
So Ollie won't like this, but I'm going to go with Kepa.
No, do you know
Wow.
what? No, do you know what? I don't hate it at all. He's doing all right at Bournemouth, I think.
Yeah, do you know what? I think he's gone into Bournemouth. He's instantly become their number one, even when he got injured and then come back. And I thought Mark Travis has done really well while Kepa was out, but Kepa came straight back in. Um, Iriola speaks really highly of him. I seen a quote from him saying about how Kepa's been so good for the dressing room, and he puts down a lot of their success this season to bringing in better leaders into the dressing room, and Kepa being one of those. So I think fair play, he's been a bit of a maligned character for the past few years, but he's gone to Bournemouth, and it looks like he's going to settle there. I wouldn't be shocked if that became a permanent in the summer.
Okay. Ollie, who's your final one?
Yeah, I was a bit similar to Chris. I was actually struggling to find loanees who I knew in a lot of detail about how well they were doing.
Yeah.
So I settled in the end on Mike Penders.
That's point.
Yeah, kid's only 19, playing in the Belgian league for Genk at the moment. He seems to be doing pretty well in a lot of stats and things. I know they've not played a million games, but he seems to be doing quite well in terms of stats in comparison to some of the other players. In terms of the league, he's played a bit for the under-23s as well there, and he seems to be doing a good job for them also. So yeah, not really much to report on him, but apparently this kid is pretty good. We've all been told that he's sort of like one of the next ones to watch out for. So yeah, well done to him, I guess.
Yeah, I will move to the care package, the Chelsea care package players, and this guy's in the news as well this week because of Emmanuel Petit criticising him. Raheem Sterling. I'm sorry, but I didn't get the move when it happened, and honestly, I still don't. It kind of feels like only ones who benefit here were Chelsea. Just shaving a bit off the wage bill.
Because Arsenal will never learn, will they?
No. I mean, if you look...
They never do. And do you know what? We tell them every time. We tell them, you're getting a player who is either good or not good. And the majority of the time, it's been not good. We've told them that, and they don't believe us. They go, we've taken your best player. And then when they're underformed, they go, oh, what happened?
Yeah, I mean,
if
we break it down, he's managed just 123 minutes across 4 league games. No goals, no assists, 0 for 5 on crosses, a single off-target shot to his name. His only actual goal contributions came against Bolton in the League Cup. That's not glow. That's not... I mean, it's painful to say it. It is, because his career at the top level might actually be circling. It might be circling the drain, because if I were him, I've said this before, no one listens to me, but if I was him, I'd be on the phone with my agent right now yelling, cancel the loan, get me anywhere else, anywhere, because my career is going from stalling to irreversible decline.
Syria, I think, could be good for Sterling.
Yeah, something like Syria. I could see him maybe going to AC Milan or something, it'd be nice to see that, but maybe when Milan eventually sell Leao, you could see something like that happening. Do you know what? What really annoyed me about Sterling is that he kind of deserves this a little bit. I feel bad a little bit about saying that, but it came out after he went on loan with this. Oh, now you'll see the best of me and all that. And apparently the best of him is 1 goal against Bolton.
It's not great. It's not great. I mean,
but what I'm getting at is, listen, I get it, mate. You've been at the top for a long time, but either you have some humility or what pride comes before. And at the moment, you're getting cut down.
He did. I mean, we were all told, oh, yeah, but remember that, Chelsea's chaotic. He'll be settled. Arsenal are a very settled club. They're going for the title for a reason. They're settled. And there we go. You've put him in a settled environment with Arteta, good manager. It's not working.
Well, look, he can't even get a game at the moment over Martinelli, who is absolute dog shit. So, if he's not going to get a game over someone like Martinelli, when's he going to play?
Well, that's the thing. Right, Ollie, who's your first player who needs a bit of a care package?
I think Chris will have this guy.
Oh.
I'm going to go with someone who I think has been doing all right, but do you know what? Mainly it's because I don't agree with the loan in principle, and that's Leslie Ugochukwu.
He was on my shortlist, yeah.
Yeah, it feels maybe a little bit harsh because there are some games where I think he actually has been the difference for Southampton. And to a certain degree, it's kind of no fault of his own that he's in such a struggling side. But oh my God, Southampton are nailed on to get relegated this season. I mean, I think everyone could have seen it before the season even began, and we still sent him there anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm just not entirely sure what
we're good at that.
I'm just not sure what good you could like. You can't expect a 19-year-old or however old he is to go over there to a relegation threatened side, put out all the fires, and keep them up. It just isn't going to happen. And we're deliberately then putting a kid in an environment where he's not winning. We're putting a kid in an environment where he's struggling, where he's losing every week, where his confidence will be low. And eventually, when he comes back to Chelsea, he's going to have just been relegated, most likely. So, and I get it to a certain degree. He's a more defensive player. He's going to need that defensive experience. But he's going to need that defensive experience of being on the front foot more than, as a defender, as a defensive midfielder, rather than, being under the cosh all the time. Because in this team, our midfielders need to turn and play forward. Right, that's a really important part of our game. And at Southampton, he's going to be barely doing that all season. And he's not only is he going to come back on low confidence, he's going to come back underdeveloped, undervalued, and eventually we'll probably sell him, which is a real shame.
It'll be like Ethan Ampadu.
Yeah, or get Billy Gilmore.
He's Billy Gilmore 2.0, isn't
he? Yeah, just another player who we've sent out on loan to the wrong club at the wrong time, and it's going to cost them. When we've seen, like the likes of Gallagher, and we've seen other players who the right loan at the right time makes all the difference for their career, and we've got to start getting better than that. So to a certain degree, he is a loser, but to a lot of it, it's not really even up to him. He's been kind of been put in this situation.
I feel sorry for him because we've got to stop loaning players to teams who are just going to be relegation fodder. Like, I don't understand why we haven't learned. We did it with, like you said, Michael, we did it with Ampadu at Sheffield United. Put him into an environment where you're not going to win a game. What are you learning there that's going to translate to a team like Chelsea? Nothing. We've done it with Billy Gilmore was it Norwich? He went to?
Yeah, it was Norwich.
Yeah, again, relegation fodder. Not going to learn anything. You're going to play, but you're not going to learn anything.
But they're not even gaining any value. We sold Billy Gilmore and Ampadu for peanuts.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's going to be another one. I think, didn't we pay something like 20 million for him as well? It
wasn't an insignificant amount of money.
But, so you are right. He'll come back. He might go on another loan next year, probably to someone else crap. And then we'll end up selling him for like 8 million, and everyone will go, "Oh, it's a waste of time."
But
it's such a shame.
But look at we were just talking about Alfie Gilchrist. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to be putting a player in a slightly lower position where you can platform them to succeed, rather than putting the world against them and really just saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you fail."
Well, the thing is, Gilchrist, you look at it, right? Yes, he's gone down to the Championship. Yes, it's a lower standard. So what he does there may or may not translate to the Premier League, as we've seen plenty of times. But at least he's learning about being in a team where there's pressure to win and pressure to do something.
And to raising his value.
Sheffield United are expected to get promoted. They are in a pressured environment where every game they are expected to win. So he's learning about a similar environment to what he'll come back to at a club like Chelsea, not a team who's going to accept losing every week. It's a shame because I actually really liked Chukwu, and I thought even in this pre-season just gone, I don't think he should have gone out on loan this year. I think he could have been used in our squad this season.
I agree. And I think he would have been a valuable asset. And now it feels like, I don't know, maybe we're doom and glooming it a bit, but it feels like we're going to miss the boat on it.
The only thing that might save him is if Santos comes back to us next year and he goes and replaces him at Strasbourg.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That could be the only way to save it from there.
Ollie, who's one of your... Chris, who's one of your choices?
I've gone with Armando Broja.
He hasn't played?
He was on my shortlist because he'd been injured, hasn't he?
Can you have a worse loan than that? He's gone to Everton.
Yeah.
And he hasn't kicked a ball yet with a foot injury. What's he done? Cut it off. It's nearly Christmas, mate. What have you done to that foot?
Yeah.
He's been out since the summer with a foot injury. What have you done to it? Again, he was another one where 18 months ago, people was calling for him to be our number one striker because he scored 6 goals at Southampton. Yeah, I think he's proving everyone's point. He had a poor loan at Fulham last year. He's having an
Yeah.
absolute dog shit one now at Everton.
We-
We'll be lucky. We'll be lucky to sell him for money.
According to the latest report, this is according to the Liverpool Echo, he has returned from an Achilles injury, and it's anticipated he'll go on a few outings with the youth team before the senior squad. That just sounds like he's going to the pub. He's going to a few outings, like games, I hope. That'd be nice.
Man, it's so hard for him, isn't it? Because like he's been plagued by injuries a lot in his career, but I think we're at the point now where we've got to cut our losses. Again, it's one of those situations where it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda with in terms of his potential, but it's not going to be realised at Chelsea if it's going to be realised anywhere. I think we've just got to let him go.
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm just thinking, if we did, I don't know if we did it back then, but if we did overreactions and the pod at the same time when he was at Southampton, can you imagine that little bit of form? We'd have said he is the next generational Chelsea striker.
People was comparing him to Costa at one point.
Yeah, I'm going to find that. When did he play for Southampton? 21-20. Well, we did do the pod then, so no excuses there. But let me have a look. When was the form? Yeah, he got back-to-back goals in game week 8 and 9 against Leeds and Burnley. Then he had an ankle injury, and then he scored in game 15, 17, 18 and 24, and then never again. And everyone was hyping them 6 goals. I'm like, here we go.
You think about what you just said. He scored in game week 24. There's 38 in a season.
There is.
Which means he had 14 games without a goal.
Yeah. Well, no, he scored his first goal in game week 8 and then again in 9. So
no, I mean from his last goal in game week 24 to the end of the season.
Oh yeah, good point.
He had 14 weeks without a goal, and people that summer said he should start up front for us. He'd gone 14 games without a goal, and people said, "Yeah, he should be our starting striker."
You got a point.
I think we even on the show we've waxed and waned over Broja for a long time, but I think the ship has now sailed. I think that. You know, we've got enough good prospects, we've got enough good players that he's just too far down the totem pole at this point.
Yeah, I will go with my final player. I've got Gaga Slonina.
He was my other one.
Nice. I'll say why. Being a keeper at Chelsea. Well, hang on. Here we go. Being a keeper at Chelsea is a bit like trying to win the lottery, where your competition isn't just 1 or 2 players; it's practically the entire globe. Look, he's out on loan at Barnsley. They've kind of taken a turn for the worse. He's had a ligament injury in his finger, so that's him out for 4 to 6 weeks. Before the injury, it weren't headline grabbing stuff. You know, he's conceded 1.18 goals per 90, 13 goals in 11 games, basically. 1 clean sheet. Yeah, save percentage is a lukewarm 67%. Barnsley are 5th. They are 5th. But his individual performances for me didn't scream Chelsea's number 1. And
the thing is that, and I'm just going to jump in, Mikey. That's also misleading, saying Barnsley are 5th.
They are 5th,
though. Before he stopped playing for them, like first he was on the bench, then he's not been available. They were in 10th, so he hasn't played for them 3 weeks or so before, and then they've jumped up from 10th to 5th. So it's not great. And like you said, with the clean sheets and stuff, he's played 14 times in total this season, including in the cup, for Barnsley. Yep. 2 clean sheets in 14 matches. In League One, that's not good enough, unfortunately, and it won't be good enough for Chelsea.
I mean, what was we going to learn about him, though? What was we going to learn about him going to League One? Not going to learn anything about him down there.
What we have learned is that probably he's not good enough for us, and that's really frustrating because we spent a pretty penny on him as well. He was supposed to be this again with the goalkeepers supposed to be this next big up and coming player who's going to take the world by storm, and it's just not happened.
I mean, I look at it this way. He's only 20. There's plenty of time for him to develop.
Especially as a goalkeeper.
But his window at Chelsea might already be closing because we're already hyping up someone that Ollie touched on, Penders. He's another young keeper out on loan. The heir apparent to Courtois.
He won't play for us.
You don't think so?
No, he won't play for us. No.
Who do you mean, Penders or Slonina?
No, Slonina.
Oh no, I agree.
I don't think he'll ever make a first team appearance for us.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I'm like, well, what are we going to do then? Because we paid decent money for him. I just want to know what they saw in him. What did they see that we're not seeing now? I don't know.
It's difficult. I'm just thinking, did we do a scout report on him? Because our hit rate on that is not the best.
He was highly rated though.
That's what I mean. When he was in the was he playing for
Was it?
Bruges? In the Belgian league, I think he was playing for. Didn't he get relegated with them though as well?
He was
last
at
season?
Chicago Fire.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
really
he
well,
was.
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. In the MLS, he was doing really well for them, and then he's come to Europe. But he went to, I think he was on loan at
Oh,
at
Eupen.
Bruges last season. Oh,
No,
Eupen,
Eupen,
sorry.
yeah.
KSV Eupen.
Yeah.
And they got relegated, if I remember rightly, or like finished really low in terms of their league position. And now he's at Barnsley, and he's not really pulling up any trees there in League One. So it's like, what are we supposed to think? You know,
Our hit rate on scout reports so far, we haven't done a lot of them, but we did one on Nicholas Jackson, so that was a win. That was a win.
Decent.
In Kunku, well, we all know why we picked him because obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Romeo Lavia, Georgi Petrovic, Tosin, and Dewsbury.
oh dear.
I'd like to put out there on record, I was against the Dewsbury Hall one at the time.
Yeah, you were. You did say that, and I was like, no, people, listeners, that was technically your fault. We did a vote, and you voted yes. What was the point in that signing? Right.
How
right.
pointless was that?
Yeah, Chris, who's your final player since we're all out?
Bashir Humphreys.
Oh, lovely.
Interesting. I haven't heard really much about what he's doing at the moment. Is it Burnley he's at?
He's at Burnley under Scott Parker, yeah.
How's he
In and
getting
out.
on?
In and out. Can't hold down a first team place. Another one who a couple of summers ago in pre-season looked really good. Then went on loan to Swansea, I think it was.
Did pretty well there, if I remember right.
Yeah, it came back again this summer with stock, I would say, risen. I thought there was good things that was said about him at Swansea. But he's gone out now to a team again where he's playing in the Championship and he's not even playing there. So it's like when he comes back this summer, he hasn't gained anything because you
How old is he
much.
again?
21.
He's 21, yeah. So
yeah, in terms of
not
our
young.
team and in terms of our centre back situation and things like that, we're looking to bring one in. Again, is it a case of, that he's missed the last train at the station?
And it's a shame, isn't it? Because I think if you do look at our centre back situation, especially this summer coming, there could be an opening for two centre backs to come in. If Disasi and Badiashile, question marks over them too. Even Tosin at this point, there'll be question marks over. So if he'd had a really good loan spell, then he could have been another player that he was looking at, thinking, "Oh, can he come back?"
Yeah, force your way into the conversation.
You know why he was sent on loan, don't you? Because it's for next year's books. Because it's a loan with the club have said it's an obligation to buy with conditions. So whatever
if they get promoted,
yeah. But Fabrizio Romano said it was mandatory no matter what. I'd rather believe the club, to be honest.
It might be based on number of appearances or so then, which could also explain why he's not played as much. But I mean, you look at someone like someone like Gilchrist, right, and how well he's taken that opportunity, and it sounds like Humphreys just hasn't taken his in the same league. Like it's hard not to make the parallels there.
Yes, yeah.
Let us know, listener, what you think. Some stars, some Chelsea care package loanees. I'd be curious because we've got a big pool to choose from, 14. So, yeah, with that, we'll move to Quaresma's question. No, we won't. We bloody won't. We've got a line of the week. What am I doing? Flipping heck. I best hit the sound drop. Wasn't even ready. So, line of the week. We take on Leicester, don't we? Of course. Lions, Foxes. That's going to go well. It's the wedding venue derby, Dewsbury Hall. So, who are you choosing?
It's going to be it's going to be a weird game, this, because Maresca said beforehand that I think he was in the press conference. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but he said that Leicester effectively are going to know how we're going to play, so he's going to have to do something different. We've had some players out, players who are going to be coming back from far away.
Yeah.
Other players who aren't necessarily starting, but this is the weakest Leicester team in quite a while. It was confirmed today that Fatawu, basically their best attacker, is an ACL injury out for the rest of the season. They've got someone else out who's important for them as well. I can't remember who it was. So really, by all accounts, we should be cracking them really, regardless of who we play. Who's the wheel gone with, Mikey?
Cole will.
All right, that's a fair shout.
That's not a good look. Show. It's not a good look though. If it's a
if he ends up being the Lion, he has to put in a 10 out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go early and pick
I'd say
Ollie's.
something's gone really
I'm gonna go with Ollie's line from the Arsenal game. Who is it? Do you remember?
Who is it?
Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good shout. Had a good international break with Portugal, didn't he? Scored a good goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know who to go with on this one. I feel like I'm going to go with Noni Madueke.
Cool.
I feel like this will be one of his games where he does quite well, and we'll start the whole cycle again of whether he's good enough to be our starting right winger.
What about yourself, Chris?
I'm gonna go with Mark Cucurella.
Okay.
It's a fair shot. And Berth picks Bettinelli as per.
I was just saying there might have been some breaking news. It's literally just Pep Guardiola's contract, which I don't care about because we don't do shit.
He's going to be there forever. Don't give a shit.
Forever.
I've never been so disappointed in a manager extending their contract. It's boring, mate. Go away.
Right. Let's have a look. NJ Brandt in Quaresma's questions. What is the current news on FFP? Is UEFA going to bar us next year? We haven't heard anything. We don't hear anything till the accounts are published. So it's
I think it depends, doesn't it? It depends whether that sale of the hotels to ourselves actually worked or not. I think if it did, I think we'll be all right. Probably end up just getting maybe some points deduction and maybe a transfer ban or something. If it doesn't, we might be in trouble. I think so. But like Mikey says, until we have more info, we're just kind of all spitting in the dark.
Yeah. You're winking in the dark, as I call it. You know what you're doing. No one else does. I know Jacob Fran has asked, just stated, I know we don't like selling to our rivals, but if anyone wants Kieran Dewsbury Hall, they can have him.
Do you know what? I would even give him to Spurs. £2.50 and a packet of Monster Munch.
We don't do that. Bruno CFC, other than Andrey, which loanee would you see being a Chelsea regular next year? I say Gilchrist.
Does Esteban count?
Yeah.
He's not really.
No, he's not on loan. He's not on loan.
I know it doesn't really count, but I would still pick him.
But he's not a loanee. You can't do that.
Yeah, well, but it's a loan in all but name, really, isn't it?
No, because we've agreed a deal to sign him next summer.
Yeah, but it's a temporary thing, and he's eventually
it's an unofficial loan.
That's like me saying, if I've got a job.
We've kind of officially already bought him, and he's going to be coming back.
I know,
functionally, it's the same.
That's not a loan. It's like if I said, I've agreed a new job for next summer, but technically I'm on loan at my current company. I'm not. Chris, go on. Who do you think?
Semantics in there.
I'd go with Gilchrist as well, to be fair. I do think he's got a chance, just because I think there will be departures in our defence next summer.
That is very true. Right, and I'll end it with Jack, who's asked, over the next 10 games, please read the fixtures. I will. Don't worry. How many points do you expect us to end with? Now, obviously, league games only. So the next 10 games are Leicester away, Villa at home, Southampton away, Spurs away, Brentford at home. How many have I got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got another 5 to go. Everton away, Fulham at home, Ipswich away, Palace away, and we close with Bournemouth at home.
Should be 8 wins minimum there, in my opinion.
Spurs is always a hiccup, and I feel like Palace could be a hiccup.
Spurs play a stupid high line with Ange, and he doesn't change it, so we're going to absolutely kill them in transition.
You know what?
The biggest worries on that list are Villa, Brentford, and Bournemouth.
No, I think we'll win all of them, but lose to Southampton. We did it before.
Yeah,
we lost. They won 2. I think they won 3 games that season or something, and we gave them 2 of those wins.
That's shocking, isn't it?
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? But I think on those games, Villa will obviously be an issue because they're a top team this season. Bournemouth are performing really well; they'll be an issue this season, and Brentford are always a tough team regardless of what season you're playing. So, but everyone else, we should be winning that. Like for me, that's 24 points minimum. We should be getting out of 30 there.
I think we get 20.
Wow.
I think we get 20 out of the 30. There's a few draws in there. And to be fair, when I was just counting up then, when you was going through the fixtures, I don't think I put a single defeat in. So the chances, I still think the chance of us going unbeaten in 10 is slim. So I'm
easy
actually
to slip up against an Everton or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm being optimistic with 20.
Wow.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it should be 24 minimum. It really should
be. But the problem is that the games that look easy on paper are the ones we always struggle with.
Yeah.
I would like to apologise. I was incorrect. They won 6 games that season. They won against Leicester.
Oh, yeah. What a massive difference.
They won against Leicester, Bournemouth. So that's 2 of the 6. Everton. Easy. Leicester again. They did a double over Leicester and us. Oh, dear.
Right. So we were, that's the company we were in that season. So good to know.
22-23 that season. And if you wondered, yes, it was the year Leicester got relegated. Oh, God, no. Oh, dear.
Let's never talk about that season again.
That was, where did we finish that year? Was it pretty? It was pretty low. It was pretty low, wasn't it?
10th or 12th or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Dear. Oh, dear. Right.
Mid-table.
Lone Army. Yeah. I'll go straight in the game of categories. The category is the European Golden Shoe. Arsenal, Barca, Man United, Real Madrid. They've all had players win the European Golden Shoe since 2000. And with that, I want you to name all the winners of the awards since that year. I haven't counted how many we've got, so I'll do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can you just remind me again what's
15.
the
Highest goal scorer in Europe.
Highest? Okay.
In the top
Highest goal scorer
5
in all
leagues,
top,
isn't it?
in the top 5 European leagues, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, no, not technically. It's each goal's worth a point, isn't it, in certain leagues? And because there was one year that he's not on it, so it doesn't matter. Alfonso Alves scored like 40 odd in the Eredivisie, but it's not considered a top 5 league, so it was like half a point or something per goal.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So it's whoever's scoring the most goals in the best leagues, really.
Really good goal scorers, Ollie. That's what we're looking for.
That's fine.
With that, Ollie, name me a really good goal scorer.
It's the golden shoe, isn't it? It just doesn't come up very often. Lionel Messi.
He did win it, yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Luis Suarez.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure on this one, but I'm doubting myself now. Diego Forlan.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Robert Lewandowski. He must have at least one.
Yes. Can you name me the club he was playing for, Chris, when he won that golden shoe?
Dortmund.
No, Forlan.
Oh, Villarreal.
No, Atletico.
Was it?
Yeah, he got
Oh,
32
I thought he did.
goals.
I thought he did it at Villarreal. Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Yes.
Thierry Henry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, good shout. Falcao.
Yeah, no, Falcao has never won it.
Oh,
I think, did Ollie just win? He went first, didn't he?
Ollie did go first, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, there you go. That was a bit of a anticlimactic.
Throw it away, Chris.
Let me
It's
look.
on. He's just making it
points.
interesting.
I've got points in the bag, mate.
Yeah, that is very true. Let me look at
who else was on there? Like,
all right, let's see how many more we can get.
Right, here we are. I've just found the rules. It says here, UEFA coefficients list if you're in the top 5, it's your goals are multiplied by 2. With leagues outside of that, it's multiplied by 1.5. And then if you're outside the top 22 leagues, 1. So
right.
Yeah,
was Erling Haaland on that list, by the way?
Yeah, he was.
Of course he was. Fucking hell.
Because he scored a million goals.
36.
What about was Zlatan? Did Zlatan ever win it?
No.
Really?
See that's mad, isn't it?
Trying to think.
Who else could be on there? It's difficult because it's not just like top goal scorers, is it? It's like they have to have had a good year in a good league when everyone else didn't.
I mean, there's a
Burke
player
would have been really good at this one.
There's a player who he's a Georgian footballer, and he won it in 95, 96 before it was official for a team called Margvetti. Listener, just look his name up. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name.
When did you say it started?
Well, for this quiz we were doing it from when it started in 96, 97, and for some reason I put the year 2000, so whatever.
I'm trying to think of like really obscure European.
Is R9 on there?
He is. He won the first initiation of it. Yeah.
Okay, this one's going to sound weird. Is Bas Dost on there?
No.
Oh, he did have that one really good
He had
year,
one
though, didn't he?
season where everything
Yeah.
he went in. He
Oh,
scored every week.
Bastos. I thought you meant Michel Bastos. I was like, the Leon player.
No,
Bastos.
Bastos, yeah. Yeah.
There's
What
that one
about,
season where everything went.
Uh,
What about someone like Lautaro Martinez?
Oh yeah. Martinez. No.
Lukaku,
Bastos got
someone like that?
34 in 31. I'm going to assume that the Portuguese league's not top 5.
Yeah, probably.
what about Raul from Real Madrid?
No. You've got a former Bolton forward on here.
No, that doesn't help me.
That's just fucking stupid.
He was not very good there. Mario Jardel.
Griezmann?
Griezmann, no.
Mario Jardel has
He
won
was
it.
at
But
Porto at the time.
Falcao didn't. Fucking
Well, Jardel's won it twice with 2 different clubs. It's Porto and Sporting. So
Here's one. Because he had another season where everything he hit went in. What about Immobile?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I will go with
Playing
this.
centre forward, wasn't he?
I will say
Yeah.
the nationalities. So you've got
All right.
Italian, Swedish, English, Italian, Dutch.
Henrik Larsson.
Correct?
Di Natale?
No. The
Totti?
English one is Totti's on there yet?
Yeah.
Del Piero?
No. I'm surprised you haven't got the English player. Like, it was so well known that he did it for the club that it was not one of the big
Oh,
teams.
Kevin Phillips.
Kevin Phillips. And now just the
Fuck's sake.
Italian. 2 of my favourite strikers of all time. I will say that. I love both of them.
Italian and Dutch.
Yeah. Proper.
Van Persie?
Van Persie?
No. The one that one was in the news this week. A Hazard headliner a couple of weeks ago. He had a nice meal with Pep.
Oh, God damn it.
Someone screaming at home. He was so good.
Listen, people got to remember, when you actually do these shows every week, you don't remember what happens episode to episode. You listening,
One of
you might
my
remember
favourite players, one of my favourite goal scorers. He's just such a fun player.
What was his name?
No, come
I
on,
can
we can
literally
get this
see
quiz.
the video.
Played for Bayern, but he didn't start there. He was at Fiorentina.
What's his name? Mackay.
Luca Toni.
Luca Toni and Roy Mackay. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He was just so good everywhere he was.
Yeah, he was good, Roy Mackay, yeah.
I still say this every time I get to mention his name. One of the most underrated strikers of all time. Look at his goal scoring record, listener. Look at
He
him.
was
He was
brilliant on LMA Manager.
He was just so good.
You got some really weird players in there. Like, how is it? Yeah, like someone like Mario Jardel and Kevin Phillips and stuff have won it, and someone like Ibra hasn't.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
How many did Ibra get? It would have been at PSG. He wouldn't have scored.
Well, he was also at like Barcelona. He was in Italy. Like
Didn't
he's
play
done
that
quite a
much
lot
at Barca, though, did he?
That's true, but he scored a lot of goals, in a lot of
I'm
places.
assuming it's because the French league you don't get as many points for, because he had that year at PSG where he scored like 40 odd.
In the league, he got 38.
Jesus.
25th.
And he didn't win it. That's mad.
Hang on. So if we just say that's double, if we go,
that was probably Messi scored like 90.
So 38 times 2 is 76 points. And what was that year? I said 15, 16. It's last year there. And Suarez got 40 goals.
Wow. To be
There
fair,
you go.
Suarez was unreal though, wasn't he?
Yeah, Suarez was a freak, to be honest. There's no shame in being second to him. Well, for Ibra, he might have felt shame.
Yeah,
the most points ever accumulated was Messi in 11-12 when he got 50 goals in the league.
Wasn't that the calendar year he scored 90 goals?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just so bad. Insane.
Ridiculous.
Right. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Monday with winners and losers from Chelsea and Leicester. Hopefully more winners than losers. And of course, Kingsmeadow Corner, because we're going to be taking on Man United in a big game in the WSL. So until next time, that will be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.